mental exorcism begins this week. Hello, my darlings. Welcome, willkommen to Elevated Astrology, where we open up the astrology of the week of Monday, the 14th of July to Sunday, the 20th of July, 2025. I'm calling this the week of the beginning of the mental exorcism because it is Mercury retrograde week. Nothing to fear, nothing to panic about. Mercury retrogrades about 3 to 4 times every single year, so it's not at all unusual. This is just a really fun one, I think. Okay, so the overall for this week really does center around that Mercury station retrograde. It happens on Thursday the 17th at 15 degrees of Leo, and it's also happening on the quarter moon in Aries after the full moon in Capricorn last Thursday, July the 10th. If you've seen the videos, you know that this entire first half of the year has been really the fall of 24 to June 25, but condensed like this first top of the year, that there's been a spiritual, what I've called the spiritual splitting happening. You guys getting these delineations are getting the delineations for both sides of the spiritual split. On the highest spectrum of that will be the energy masters, and it's too far apart from like the individualists and the individualism and everything that I do on YouTube that I put it all in my Patreon. So if you guys want to try it for a week, it's a whole different perception of reality. That's why I'm saying it's just too far apart. It would be weird. It would be a weird way for me to make the video. So there's a whole separate weekly that I do just for energy masters and leaders over on the Patreon. What do I mean by energy mastery? I've been thinking about this. This is like I'm trying to think like, how am I going to like pitch spirituality and make people like interested, or really try to be interested or curious about like the real reality of how it really works. So the way I'm doing it is through telekinesis, and mastering your reality is what I just like my latest thing that I've been thinking about. Like, well, maybe if I tell you like you can master your reality like in a very literal physical way, here, look, see me doing telekinesis, you can do it too, do the tutorial. Maybe that'll help, maybe that'll like connect things for people, because it's not about what I can do, it's about what you can do. So all I do is show you the example and teach you how I do it so that people can do it yourself, so that all of your knowledge about reality and life after death is experiential, not theoretical. So there's that. Have to get that out of the way. So if you guys want to take a look at what we do over there, there are 4, I've also developed this, there are 4 sort of like columns of support of living in that perception of reality. One of those columns is the skills column, and that is where you learn telekinesis, astral projection, lucid dreaming, remote viewing, all of the things. So take a look at that if that's at all interesting. Or I have a lot of clients that have tried like everything else of all these different healing things. Like I have clients that tell me like, I've tried tapping, I've tried EDM, REMED therapy, I've tried psychotherapy, I've tried Jungian therapy, I've tried like people have brought like all kinds of things. And so when I put them in this perception of reality, and it's a big lifestyle change, and when they get on that track, that's what helps them. So maybe if it worked for them, it might work for you. So, okay. Overview of this week, it's really kind of more the end of the week that has a lot of activity and a lot of moving and shaking. Not to say that the first part of the week is unimportant or like to negate it. The week after the full moon is always the most important and the most productive week, and that's this week, especially since we have that Mercury stationing retrograde on Thursday. So here's the thing. This is either for one side of the spiritual split, a necessary setback. You cannot move forward until you pull you a little back and put you on this path, this way. You're not meant to go down there. We need to pull you back, set you over here, and then you can move forward again. And for other people on the other side of the spiritual split, it's purposeful reconstruction. You want to go back to the scene of the crime. So this mental exorcism is going to be purposeful for some people and forced or dragged by universe feeling for other people. This full moon in Capricorn was such like a reality bites type of a full moon, especially since we had Saturn, the ruler of that full moon, stationing retrograde on Saturday the 12th. It's almost like, here's the thing, you had to see something, you had to understand something clearly. You had to see it clearly. It had to be very out there and it had to be made real. The true character of somebody, the actual status of something, the inner workings of something, like something just, or it's almost like taking the rep takes a visit to the project, or the foreman takes a visit to the work. You know what I'm saying? Like it had some kind of revelation, big type of revelation kind of energy with it. And that exposure, that revelation, that eyesore, you can't like unknow something once you know it. So whatever we know, we can't unknow, we can't go back. And that's what led to the pullback. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, July 10th, 11th, 12th, this massive pullback of something with Saturn retrograde, especially if you believed something since like March or April. If you're like, I'm going to give this a shot, let's see where this goes. Maybe it's this, maybe it's that. And you've been like trying to make it work, trying to do it, trying to do this, trying to do that, or vague and ambiguous. It's like that, it's really been made very, very, very apparent that it's not going to be this, or it's not going to be that, or it can't possibly be this. It's you know what I'm saying? It has that, the pullback, and that pullback with Saturn retrograde, it's like taking something off of our plate. I'm looking forward to it because we don't have to think about something anymore. There's just something we don't have to think about ever again. It just doesn't exist for us. So it's like, so you don't have to worry about it. It's not a consideration anymore. It's not like a thing. And it's for some people, like on the other side of the spiritual split. And when I say on the other side of the spiritual split, I mean people that do not have a personal, moral, ethical commitment in their own mind and their own selves. Like for us, the 𝚑𝚐𝚗𝚎 in training on Patreon, we have a 3-word manifesto. We pledge our allegiance to truth, love, and integrity. And that is what keeps us in vibrational alignment. The law of synchronicity works everything else out. So, for instance, if you always listen to your intuition, you don't need astrology. If you know, like astrology is like the code behind the matrix. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, if you have your own morals and ethics and everything, and you have that good, strong intuition, there's certain tools that you just don't need. So people on one side of the spiritual split, it's almost like whatever that pullback was, whatever was revealed, whatever was seen, or on the other side, some people could have had tantrums. Some people could have had an absolute fucking shit show. Some people, you could have seen something in someone that you did not think that was there. You did not think that they were capable of something. You did not think that, I don't know, like maybe you thought like, oh my God, they told me this was done already. And it's like 5% completed. We need to get you out of here. We need to get someone that's actually going to do the thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's more like that, where it's like we saw something, or on some levels. I had to stop and restart my recording. I really hope that this is seamless enough. Okay, I think I was talking about the full moon in Capricorn being, for some people on one side of the spiritual split, like the consequences. You know, you saw something, like something became very real. The real state of something became very apparent. And it was like something, or some, like the real agenda, who someone really is, what the reality of the situation is, whether that's the hard work that you've been doing and here's what you've got to show for it, or the hard work you haven't been doing and here's what you have to show for it. You know what I mean? And so that's what led to that pullback. And so for some people, it's going to be kind of this reaction, like a long-term effect. This Capricorn full moon's like a long-term effect full moon. And some of you will be feeling it like an eclipse, like the September eclipse when we get to eclipse season. So this week in particular, I still love this week, still love it, even though it's like a mental exorcism, because one side of the spiritual split's going to be like, that's not what I thought. And not only is it not what I thought, it is so far from what I thought. Like I wasn't even close. And then that's going to be the mental exorcism of having to really think about something. So like some of us get to not think about something anymore. That's what I'm looking forward to. And we get to focus on the thing that we're doing. But other people are going to have to go back and think about something over and over and over again so that they can understand what was really going on, what was really happening. Mercury is the mind, it's the intellect. So Geminis and Virgos, you guys may have a bit of a difficult time the next few weeks just because your ruler is Mercury. But like I said, it happens 3 to 4 times a year. And so all of us 3 to 4 times a year have to go back and like rethink something, go over something. I personally love using Mercury. I'm a writer, so I love using Mercury retrogrades to bring back ideas, writing projects, anything of that nature. Or even if some of you guys do like blog posting or anything like that, wonderful time to reinvigorate some of that stuff. So it's going back to the scene of the crime, and some people are not going to want to do that at all. Like they're not going to want to go back and think about something over and over and replay it in their head. They don't want to, but they're going to. And then others of us are maybe even, like I said, with the writing example, bringing something ancient back to life. That's like, and it's Leo, so it's creatively satisfying and it's like exciting and interesting and fun. This is fun. Some of you are going to have an amazing Mercury retrograde where the fun returns, games and just fun, anything fun, having a fun time. So this is going, like I said, this is going to be like, and the spiritual split, you guys, has just been getting like sharper and sharper and going deeper and deeper and deeper. And that's why I feel like it's just like, I'm really proud of all of the 𝚃𝚑𝚎𝚎 training on Patreon, everyone from telekinesis to successful, like all your guys' magic, like your guys' skills, talents, and abilities psychically, they're just as individual as being good at certain sports or being good at English and history versus math and science. Like it's the same. And to see my little acolytes just like blossoming at this full moon, like specifically, my people have been working on stuff for 6 months and now they're like they're blooming like they're having little waves of like development and sprouting up. And so it's really, as a teacher, I love to see it and to watch it and everything, of course. But, so it's like a reward time for some people because it's like you put in the hard work, you adhere to integrity because Capricorn rules integrity. Capricorn makes the mistake usually of conquering the physical reality only when the point is to conquer spiritual heights. But we usually stop at like the money and the materialism and stuff. But the whole point of Capricorn is to get, how do I put this, like to get comfortable enough materially so that you don't have to worry about it and then focus on your spiritual education. Anyway, okay, so just briefly, the moon's going to be in Pisces Monday and up until about 10 a.m. Pacific time on Tuesday morning. Monday's juicy. I like Monday a lot. Mondays, I'll get into the day-by-day breakdown, but love Monday. Tuesday from 10:09 a.m. Pacific time to 21:32 Pacific time, the moon will be void of course. So that's another like, I don't want to say like dead day, but it's just like whatever we're pushing through from like Monday morning to Tuesday morning up until 10 a.m., that's what's going to just be worked on and chewed on for the rest of Tuesday. And or until 9:30. And here's the thing, when the moon does go into Aries, some of you, if you didn't, how would I say, like get like a result back, or if you didn't get some kind of like that Capricorn full moon, not everyone got everything all at once on Thursday. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's like the peak of the energy was Thursday, but as it plays out and it like sheds more and more and more of the information, more and more of the results, more and more of the vibes. And so when the moon hits Aries 9:30 Tuesday night until like midnight Thursday to Friday, some of you will be getting results. Some of you will be getting things, or maybe even things that were like decided upon, or that you guys agreed to, or we're talking about that maybe it happened Thursday, but it's playing out, or you're hearing about it maybe when the moon's in Aries. So Tuesday night has like a kind of like a stimulating energy. Thursday is the quarter moon in Aries, and then at nighttime on Thursday is when Mercury goes retrograde. So by the time you get to, there's just the moon in Aries on Wednesday. So by the time you get to Thursday with that quarter moon, it's like acceptance. And that Thursday is like the double take. Try to keep an open mind. Then overnight, like midnight, 1 a.m. Friday, the moon enters Taurus, and the moon's going to be in Taurus Friday and Saturday. The moon's got a short little void Saturday night going into Sunday morning, 3 a.m. Sunday morning, the moon enters Gemini. Sunday is when Mars crosses the South Node in Virgo. And then the moon's gonna be in Gemini, like Sunday's gonna be such a day. So lunar transits throughout the week, the vibe of the people, it's how do I put this? It's like we are building out this new vibration, and people are either so calm and excited and just like ready to go back to the scene of the crime and ready to, you know, make something better, ready to commit to the summer thing, or, you know, like really excited and looking forward to it. Capricorn full moon can be so satisfying because, like I said, with Saturn, what you earn, you keep. So some of us would be so like satisfied and looking forward to all of this. And then other people on the other side of the spiritual split, it's a mental exorcism where they're just like, what, you know, and it's like, it's very disorienting, and there's like a harsh reality tone to it where you didn't earn it, and that's just the data. Or you didn't do what you said you were going to do, or you were stalling, or you procrastinated, or you doubled back on something, or you were trying to buy more time, or you were just trying to manipulate the situation, or you were just you were never sincere, or you allowed me to believe something that was incorrect, knowing that it benefited you, or someone was trying to hijack a situation, or you know what I'm saying? It's like that, whatever that thing was that came up for you Thursday the 10th, it's like you can't look away, you can't unsee it. So this week is more consequences, rewards, and like I said, a purposeful reinvigoration. Like you want to start this thing up, or you want to do this, or you've been trying to do it, or it's going to be like that mental exorcism where people are going to be thinking about something they do not want to think about. They don't want to go back and think of and replay it all and figure out how they messed up or whatever, but they will. So let's go ahead and break this down day by day. Monday, the 14th of July. Like I said, love this day so much, so much. It's like the most chillest day. It's the chillest. It's like we're easing into the week, and it's a Pisces moon. So people are like gooey, nice and gooey. I'm calling it a vision newly informed, leads back to the scene of the crime. So it's like the vision that you had either needed to be corrected, like in a big way, or the original vision wasn't even as good as it really is, and something is better than you thought it could be. So Monday is a wonderful day for daydreaming or being creative or speaking from the heart or just anything of that nature. And it's going to have some kind of trigger for the retrograde. Oh, okay. So you guys have, okay, so the retrograde is the 17th, but some people may need to double back on something. Like if it's a forced setback, it could be, if it's something recent, it could be that someone has like done something or said something since that they will regret from the 17th onward, something they said or did or didn't say or didn't do as far back as June 29th. If it was impulsive, if it was immature, if it, you know what I mean? If it was like low vibrational or out of ethics or something like that. So on Monday, I feel like it's going to be very motivating, but from an inspiration place. There's something also about Monday with unsatiated curiosity. So for those of us that are really excited, we're going to want to circle back to something. There's going to be something that we want to like ask some questions about, but like something about it's like for later. It's like so, but so it's, Monday might have something where you want to like bookmark that for later. Your curiosity is peculiar, but you're gonna do it later. So add it to the vision that you're creating for yourself. Tuesday, I know the moon is void all day, so don't meet anybody new, don't start anything new, don't, you know, all of the things, all of the, oh, I put the Void of Course Moon PDF on the Patreon for patrons. That is for energy masters and energy workers. So if you, that's like higher level stuff. That's higher, and that's another thing. It's like, I do Zoom meditations with my people Wednesday mornings and evenings, every Wednesday now. And so it's like a whole alignment thing. Like, guys, oh, those meditations are going to make you telekinetic. Just those are our core meditations. And so just by default, so it's going to help your manifestations, it's going to help everything, your healing and your skill developing, but it's also going to make you telekinetic. And so you guys have so many resources, so much to get started with, not just learning astrology and interpreting reality like 99.9% of the people on the planet in the negative polarity perception, but are taking in training truth, love, integrity. You have to pledge yourself to truth, love, integrity. That's the manifesto. To learn, you know, the energy work and to do all the stuff. So when you do that, reality is coming from you. It's happening from you. And that's the difference. So for instance, when you are in alignment, it doesn't matter what the astrology is, it doesn't matter what happens. It's not going to completely derail your life. As 𝚑𝚘𝚘 says, it's going to be okay. You're going to be fine. But if something happens, if an astrology transit does wreck your life, does take everything off course, it means you were out of alignment and it's trying to get you back into alignment. So even though, so that's a long digression. So Void of Course Moon all day Tuesday, that's really processing the direction. I feel like whatever we were feeling on Monday, whatever we were feeling into or feeling out, and then like right before the moon goes void, the moon in Pisces makes a trine to the sun in Cancer. Like that's like we're focusing on where we're going, what we're growing consciously or unconsciously. And that's where the heart is. Our heart's in that future thing. Our heart is where we're trying to go. Our heart is wanting to move on towards like the greener pastures. And we have something about it. By the time you get to Tuesday morning, you have that direction. You're like, okay, this is it. This is where we're going now. So then that's why I'm saying like it's probably just like processing things and I don't know, whatever little work that you guys are doing. And then by the end of the day, Tuesday at 10 o'clock, when the moon in Aries sextiles Uranus in Gemini, that could be for some of you another wave of the new, like some new announcement, product, person, arrival, touching base, something. It's gonna, you know, it's gonna be something. or a message, thought, communication, something. But it leads into Wednesday. Wednesday, the 16th of July is kind of, the moon is in Aries. Love that for us. It's like revving the engine. Like vroom, 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 vroom. And some of the aspects, like some of the energy on Wednesday could be powerfully intense and inspiring if you're brave enough to like go on the, like Aries moon needs to be, it's like you want to be the first, the best, or completely unique and original with that Aries energy. That's like the feeling there. So it's like Wednesday, you could be getting people informed. You could be making some decisions that are more connected or more embodying the transformation. It's like validating yourself, or something gets like very validated because it's like, because of the moon squaring Jupiter in Cancer, I feel like leadership may also be, it's either leadership or a guide or a guru or just someone that knows, like a professional or someone that has experience or has done this a lot of times or something, because that's like at noon. So the whole day on Wednesday is like revving the engine. And there may be someone there to help you, or you may be the person to show the person the offices or the bread machines and how we, you know what I mean? That kind of a thing. Thursday, July the 17th, I'm calling it the double take. There's something about, okay, so when Mercury stations retrograde, those days are like the big, this is like, it's a double take. It's like when you really, it's just not what you thought. And it's either going to be now what you thought, oh no, or it's not what you thought, it's way better or bigger or whatever, but it's not what you thought. It's not what you thought. This is also really amazing energy to resurrect something, like 𝚃𝚑𝚎𝚎 energy. So I'm calling it the double take. Keep an open mind, because I just feel like with the Capricorn, it's especially the week before last week, so 4th of July weekend, when Venus hit Uranus and Taurus and then went into Gemini, and then Neptune stationed retrograde, and then Monday the 7th, Uranus went into Gemini. Like that was all setting the stage. That was setting the stage for something that you're not ready till you're ready, I guess. Like, anyway, so the quarter moon, this is the waning, gaining, the waning, losing in light, all these, now we're all going to be tripping over words. It's great. So the waning, losing in light quarter moon in Aries is acceptance and prioritization. I feel like there is something on this Capricorn. I told you guys to be professional last week, right? Remember that? When I said, doesn't matter if you're in business or talking to your family or talking to your lovers or spouses or kids or parents, to have decorum and professionalism. I told you. Remember that? Remember I told you that? I just want the credit for helping you. Back to the quarter moon. It's about acceptance. It's about also prioritization. And it's what's most meaningful first, or whatever is most meaningful at the forefront is what it needs to be. There won't be anything left over. So it's like, it's a little bit more culling away, preparing, like putting the tools away for the next harvest. You know, it's like a closing down of the shop. You're cleaning the little things and you're putting the things back where they belong. You're sweeping the floors. I don't know, whatever you do. So it's got this like closing down, consolidating energy, but it's like acceptance. It's like, this is it. And oh man, the fact that Mercury stations retrograde at the end of the night, not only that, but the moon at the end of the night will hit Chiron in Aries, the wounded healer. So that's wounding or that's healing. But the difference is that this time it's on purpose. Because some people had a Capricorn full moon that saw something ugly. And that exposure led to the pullback. Maybe even something around July 4th was ugly. With Neptune stationing retrograde, you're not who I thought you were. This isn't what I thought I was going to get. This isn't, it's some kind of perception correction. And that kind of Capricorn pullback is intense. It's pretty intense. And it's all about lessons. It's all about learning. It's all about maturing and growing up and all the things. On that Thursday, that quarter moon, people could feel it as almost a continuation of the consequence of that full moon, of Thursday's consequence, of Thursday, July 10th, whatever went down, whatever happened, whatever you saw, whatever was discussed, whatever was published, whatever was presented, whatever was announced or commanded, whatever. Thursday is like, you either accept this is what the new company is going to be doing now, or you go start your own company. Do you like that? You know what I'm saying? It's like, since from the 10th to the 17th, people are like leaving things. People are like, what's that? Like uncommitting, like, especially if it's anything since March or April, people are like, this is a bunch of bullshit. You were a bunch of bullshit. You were just bullshitting me. You were just buying time. So that's the pullback. And so Thursday could have something to do with that, but it can also, if it's a little bit more positive, it's more of that reinvigoration of something. It's bringing something back up to the past. It's like, let's get this thing wrapped up. It's really about consolidating and finishing something that maybe is already in existence or that you've tried to work on before. So it's not really the best for starting something brand new. It really is better for grabbing something you were tinkering with before and then making it better and making it amazing. If it's more creative, because Leo is creative. You want to put Leo energy is heart-centered energy. So if it's not joy and love and all of those happy, light feelings, then it's probably the mental exorcism of why people feel insecure, why people feel, I don't know, whatever. So Thursday is one of those meaningful days. It's wounding, but if it's wounding, it's on purpose. It's like, well, yeah, because you lied to me. This is what you get. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like the Capricorn full moon, it does not let you get away with anything. It's not like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if anyone's wounded, if anyone's in pain on Thursday night, it'll probably, that's the point. That's the point. Now, on the other side of the spiritual split, it's healing. So if you have been, like, for instance, unappreciated or taken for granted, Mercury retrograding in Leo is going to give you a lot of love over the next few weeks. That attention, that heavy petting, that, you're going to be feeling good about it. You're going to be feeling a lot better about yourself, okay? So it's, like I said, the spiritual split. So Thursday is kind of like an adjustment day, I feel like, for people. And some people are not going to adjust. They're going to need the whole retrograde to adjust. Friday, July the 18th, I'm calling it better than you thought. The moon enters Taurus overnight. Yeah, it's going to square Pluto like at 5 a.m., but Mercury now retrograde is going to sextile Venus. So on one side of the spiritual split, it's almost like you run into someone that you see the last person you want to see at a party, and it's like a jump scare. Like, oh, I have to see their face. Oh, for I don't know, some bitter people, I got some things to work out. But on the other side of the spiritual split, this could be like the return of an old friend, or someone calls you, you haven't talked to them in a long time, or you, if it's that project, or you rediscover a hobby, or you know, maybe you were reading to your kids before bed and then the schedule changed and then you fell out of phase with it and now you're getting back into, this would be the time to bring that back, anything with children and that kind of thing. Or for some people, it's like I said, the spiritual split. Some people are going to get triggered on Friday of an old insecurity from Thursday going into Friday. And then some people are on the other side of the spiritual split are bringing something back on purpose. And that on Friday, it's like, it goes way better than you thought. And there's like a friendly face, or there's, you're just happy to connect with people about this thing. Saturday, the 19th, the sun in Cancer squares Chiron in Aries. Guys, this is going to be the mental exorcism for people that they're going to go through is going to be surgical, like energetically surgical. Okay, so Saturday, I'm calling it relieved or reliving. Like I said, some people are just not going to want to think about something ever again, of where they went wrong, what they did, how they were responsible for something, and they're going to have to. And so this could be like that wounding, that recent wound or old wounds, whatever. Or for those of us on the other side of the spiritual split, it's healing. And it's seeing it. It's seeing like, oh, wow, I really wanted my kid to see that I was doing this. And I just thought they took me for granted this whole time. And now they did this thing for me. And now I feel really loved and appreciated, or, and invalidated. Or it's, my reputation has been really attacked lately, and it's just been so unfair, and everybody in the neighborhood is like in on it, and I felt, it's like, oh my God, everyone's rooting against me, blah, blah. And then this Mercury retrograde with Venus and the sextile with a Capricorn full moon, if you stuck with your integrity, you could finally meet those friends that you connect with. I'm thinking about the 4th of July girl on TikTok that she brought the salad to the party. So, but you stick with it. You find someone else that loves to, make great salads and whatever. So, and then that's healing, because you're like, wow, I never had any friends that also liked to garden. And now I found friends that love to garden. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's like, and because of that. Okay, so the relieved part, that's relieved. It's like, okay, I can see it. I can see and think about all the times that, I brought food to a party I was invited to, and they just hated it or whatever. And this went really well. Someone brought me a plate of food and from their garden, and that makes me feel so, so great. Or the other people on the other side of the spiritual split, it's going to be reliving, and that forced energy, the force that makes that, maybe in the first example, makes someone bring a salad to the girl that got her feelings hurt, that triggers that, like, no, I'm gonna be this person's friend. The same energy is going to push for the awareness for those people that need the mental exorcism. They have to look at the wound, because the unhealed wound that they're not healing in themselves is fucking up their lives. And until they get consequences like this Capricorn full moon, they're never going to deal with it, and they will never learn, and they will never change. So some people had to see this Capricorn full moon about, ugliness in themselves or ugliness in somebody else or in a situation. Saturday, you are either so satisfied, like, I can breathe a sigh of relief. I took care of all the things. I did so much of the heavy lifting, and it was so hard this whole time. Or people are going to be, like I said, reliving it all. Like, what went wrong? What happened? How did this go down? How did it get here? How did I get here? But Saturday is all about comfort. So you're either very comfortable on, even in the new vibration, you're very comfortable, or people are very uncomfortable. And there may even be like a growing push for some kind of either release or reduction. Or like for some people, it's something coming back, like it's resurfacing. Some people, this is a release, a letting go, a clearing of the slate. I'm leading us into Sunday. That's funny. Sunday, the 20th of July, thinking about all you've seen. And that's like from the Capricorn full moon, like seeing the real agenda, the real plans, the real heart, what's really in someone, what the situation's really about, what's really going on, and what's really been going on, consciously or unconsciously. Sunday, I feel like because the moon's in Gemini, while Mars crosses the South Node in Virgo, both ruled by Mercury, which also rules Gemini, and that moon trining Pluto early in the day, like 8 a.m. Pacific time. It's like, and then Uranus very, very early, like at 4 a.m. It's like that exposure, those results, that outcome that led to either sealing a commitment and signing up for something, or dropping that commitment, letting go of that commitment. It is no longer part of the dream. Dreams busted, bubble burst, not what I thought, you know. Sunday, you're thinking about it, people are thinking about it. Some people, well, the people that are having to think about it, the mental exorcism, they're going to be really thinking about it. And thinking about how that exposure, that reveal led to a cutoff. Because this is the day of a cutoff, that Sunday. This is the Sunday, it's the 20th. Leads to the cutoff, or the pullback, or the rejection, or the deletion, or the flush, or the detoxing process, but in a much more severe way. Like if people didn't let go of something, Sunday might be a day really like there's no choice. Like they can't even be protected by their own cognitive dissonance. They can't, there's like no escaping something on Sunday. So when Mars crosses that South Node, we may need a more serious release. Something very ancient may come back to life. It may resurface. It could even be like an activity, something we've done before, an action we've taken, something we used to do could even be coming back. Be very careful on Sunday for like accidents and injuries and that kind of thing. Be very, very careful on Sunday. There could be like bodily injuries, like heightened bodily injuries. So Sunday, be very careful, but also communicate and talk it out, because I like it in the morning with the moon in Gemini trining Pluto. That's either good talks, like deep, truthy, honest, connecting, but like on a cerebral level, like the sapiosexual level, or it's you need to talk to your therapist, and you're like, I have been humbled and broken down, and I've really felt the consequences this past week, and I really have to like let this go, but I can't. So you've got to help me, and I'm really serious, and here's all my trauma, and here's please ask me all the questions. It could be someone's come to Jesus moment where they're like, I give up. You know what I'm saying? Like, I give up on this. Let me go do the thing. But by that time, it'll probably be too late to get back into a situation. If there was any loss or something, or if it was that kind of a pullback, like the pasta girl from the TikTok video, that's done. That's not happening. That's not Stasia is not redeeming her reputation anytime soon, because we don't like meanness. And you can't have some poor, beautiful girl that just brought you a whole plate of vegetables from her garden that you yelled at. And, and she's making this video crying about it and how mean it was, like the whole, you know what I mean? Like you can't, it's a different world. It's 2025. Like, isn't that common? People going to therapy and stuff now? Like, isn't that normalized? So there really isn't any kind of excuse to be ignorant, immature, mean, hurtful, inappropriate, all these things. And so Sunday, I feel like the one side of the spiritual split, those people are having their come to Jesus moment, but the rest of us on the other side of the spiritual split are probably having breakthroughs or innovation or an elevation. It could be the return of a skill, talent, or ability that you could do from like a past life. It could bring, like I said, it could bring some energy, some warrior type energy to your consciousness. And so that's why I say be careful of like accidents and injuries and stuff. Or it could be, like I said, just like a very helpful, more serious release. So for some people, maybe it's even just like you're leaving one neighborhood and you're going to go live in a different neighborhood. And, you're letting go of, or a situation or a car or like something, you're just letting it go because you can't do the other thing while you're still holding on to this thing. You know what I'm saying? So it's like there's some kind of movement because not only are you thinking and talking, but some of you are definitely like very active on Sunday. This honestly looks like a very amazing week. You guys enjoy it. And when you align with truth, love, and integrity, everything works out. The law of synchronicity always works in your favor. The bird always works in your favor. And it's also how your guides work to help you is through synchronicity. And that's why they use synchronicity, because it's not supposed to be overt, because it's the whole point is that you do it, that you learn it, that you apply it, that you figure it out for yourself. So some of the synchronicity that you experience may not be synchronicity. It may be your guides, ancestors, someone or some entity, something on the other side helping you, but doing so a little bit more, veiled, because that's the whole point, is that they're as least active as possible. They only want to give you like a little bit of a nudge of confirming what you already know is the right direction for you, because you need the credit. That's how your soul grows. That's how the universe expands. So align with truth, love, and integrity. Ask yourself, but you got to be honest with you, and you have to want it. That's the thing. Like, you got to be honest with yourself. Am I really thinking, believing, feeling, acting from a place of truth and love and integrity? Because, okay, clear, obvious reasons. So I think it's gonna be a great week. And like I said, just keep an open mind the later part of the week, because if there is some healing that you have to do, and the healing's a very big part of life here, we have protocols for that, and go into it, lean into it. If there is a meaningful setback for you, do the work. Everybody has to do it. Everybody has to do it. It doesn't matter how tall your grandfather was, you still have to do your own growing, as the saying goes. Last little thing, everyone's gonna really need to watch what they say. You should already be watching what you say, but even more so, and those that did not watch what they say since June the 29th, Thursday the 17th, onward, could deeply, 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 deeply regret it. So try Patreon for a week, the beginning of phenomena, the pinned post. The onboarding is all there. I just made the new onboarding like manual guide document, and I look forward to having you and welcoming you. Have a great week, everybody. Enjoy.